I want to take a look at the integral of x e to the negative x squared from 0 to infinity. Here, hopefully it's pretty obvious that this is an improper integral because one of my limits is infinite. So right away, I'm going to take care of that and go ahead and get the limit as a approaches infinity of 0 to a, x e to the negative x squared dx. Now I need to figure out what to do with this integral. I'm going to come off to the side to evaluate the integral. If I look at this and I'm thinking, is it algebra, trig, or a mixture of stuff? Well, this is a mixture problem because I have that e to the x squared. I'm first going to check for a u sub before I jump to integration by parts. And this time the u sub is waiting for me. So if I let u equal x squared, then du would be 2x dx. I have the x and the dx, I just don't have that 2. So 1/2 of du would be equal to x dx. Which turns this into 1/2 e to the u du. And integrating that, we'd end up with 1/2 e to the u, or 1/2 e. Oh, I made a mistake. I wrote the problem as e to the negative x squared, and then when I put it over here, I forgot my negative. So let's go ahead and follow that negative sign through. So that would be a negative x squared, or a negative 2x dx, or a negative 1/2 du is equal to x dx. So I'm going to have negative 1/2 e to the negative x squared. This I'm going to bring along with me back to our improper integral part. I've got the limit as a approaches infinity. And I've already evaluated for the antiderivative, negative 1/2 e to the negative x squared. And then we're going to need to go from 0 to a. I'm always going to plug these in before I go to take that limit. So negative 1/2 e to the negative a squared minus negative 1/2 e to the 0 squared. Again, bringing our limit down with us because I like to get all my points. 0 squared is 0 and e to the 0 is 1. Minus a minus will make that plus 1/2. Now we have to deal with this limit. As a approaches infinity, this looks like infinity squared, which is still infinite. And e to the negative infinity squared, well, e to the negative infinity is headed to 0. I think we talked about that last time, but just as a quick refresher, that's what y equals e to the x looks like. So as x approaches negative infinity, the y value is getting close to 0, which makes this whole limit go to 0. And our final answer is 1/2. Because we got an answer, we didn't see that it diverged. We could write that it is convergent.